This right here should piss off all of you, especially you out there with children. So this is Dr. Rachel Levine, who is the transgender health secretary of the Biden administration. And this dude, this weirdo, says gender affirming care will be normalized. No the hell it won't. Okay, no it's not. We're not going to normalize gender affirming care. Okay, when they say gender affirming care, they're talking about mutilating children, sterilizing them, giving them hormones and puberty blockers. Okay, things that are going to affect their bodies and their mental state for the rest of their lives. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to normalize it. This is absolutely disgusting and evil what they're doing. They're using children as their own little personal lab rats, okay? Their science experiments to push their trans ideology. No, not going to happen. So Dr. Rachel Levine, the Transgender Assistant Secretary for Health for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, saluted gender-affirming care, saying that in the near future, such practices will be normalized. Levine, who stated on the Connecticut Children's Grand Rounds podcast that gender-affirming care had the highest support of the Biden administration, slammed the harsh criticism of medical professionals who advocate for gender-affirming care, which can include such radical practices as removing genitals. I think that these attacks are ideologically and politically motivated. Now, nobody would be attacking you and coming after you and criticizing you if you weren't doing this to children. Okay, that's the thing. You are ideologically and politically motivated here. Okay, we are only responding to what you are doing. I think they're being done for primarily political purposes throughout the country. Levine claimed that support for gender-affirming care would blossom, declaring, "I'm a positive and optimistic person, and I choose to be positive and optimistic. And I think that the wheel will turn on this, and I think it is not going to be politically advantageous. It wasn't particularly in 2022, and so I think that we look to all the different elections in 2024. I think the next 2 years are going to be challenging. But I am positive and optimistic and hopeful that the wheel will turn after that and that this issue won't be politically and socially such a minefield." Again, we're talking about children. I don't give a shit if you're a grown man and you want to do this. I would advise you don't cut off your genitals, but whatever, you're an adult. I just wouldn't suggest it. Levine attacked states that have passed laws restricting abortion or gender-affirming care, snapping, "You live in a state, in Connecticut, where it is unlikely that those regressive, negative, and discriminatory laws will pass and be implemented. More states should be doing this. I think Florida just passed a law that says banning transgender surgeries, which is awesome. That's great. More states should follow suit. Because this is absolutely disgusting. Like I said, they're using them as their personal lab rats and experiments to push this gender and trans ideology. It's absolutely disgusting. Like, this dude wants to chop up little kids and cut off their genitals and, I don't know, put them in a glass jar and place it on his mantle. I have no idea, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he does. But yeah, this is absolutely disgusting. But then there's this clip from 2019 that is resurfaced, in which Rachel Levine has now said, "If I transitioned when I was young, then I wouldn't have my children. I can't imagine a life without my children." He says he has no regrets waiting until he was old enough to make this decision for himself. But he wants to take that away from children. Okay, let that sink in. This dude was in his 50s. When he decided to make the jump from man to woman. And obviously he still clearly looks like a man, but whatever. So he waited until he was in his 50s to do this. And he says that he has no regrets and that he wouldn't have his children, but he wants to take that away from kids today. All right, kids don't understand any of this stuff. They're very impressionable. Okay, one day a kid thinks that he's Spider-Man, and the next day he thinks he's a fucking dinosaur. Okay, kids, they have wild imaginations. You tell them that they're one thing, they'll believe it. You're the adult. Okay? It's just, I can't even believe we're having this conversation right now, and that people in politics, in Hollywood, the schools, they're teaching this stuff and they're pushing it on kids. And it's absolutely disgusting. So We need more people to talk about this, push back on it, because it's just all around fucked up. Okay, if you want to do this when you're an adult, go for it. I'd advise against it, but again, you're an adult. You can make that decision. But leave the kids out of it. So, I guess that's about it. Let me know what you guys think about all this fucked up nonsense right here. Let me know in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you later.